a robotic revolution inside of a robotic mega corporation in the year 2200. Hell yeah, let's freaking do this.
It's time for payback, sucker!
For your execution!
And my name is, as always, good old Papa Slim, and my mission on this platform is to hunt down the best action-packed games out there, so you don't have to do the hunting, but only the enjoying. And today, my broskis, I bring with me the sponsored video on Rebel Engine, which is a quite unique freaking first-person shooter that just released. And just to make it clear, I'm not obliged to say anything specific other than you gotta use the link down in the description if you want to wishlist the game, buy it, or simply check it out. So now that I said that, let's dive into it. So Rebel Engine, my broskis, released on the 6th of November, and it will take you back 19 buckaroonies, but it also has a week-long launch sale. And for your exact price, hit the link in the description, as it will take you straight to the game's Steam page, where you can wishlist it or go ahead and buy it. Now, it's been developed by 7 Leaf Clover and published by Wandering Wizard. The developers is a small Argentinian-based studio, and their goal was to create a first-person shooter game that sticks out. You won't see any traditional reloading, you will see fast weapon swapping, combined with hack-and-slash melee action, all set in a futuristic megacorporation. It's quite the spectacle, but first, let's take a peek at the story. Now, the story of Rebel Engine actually takes a lot more space than I first thought. I haven't played a demo of the game since it was called Payloader Strike, so I didn't really know that it played this big of a role in the game. You play as a robot who's of course special, not like every other robot out there, and one day you're infected with a virus that with its help lets you break free from the chains of the hamster wheel and get your revenge on the one who stole your soul, which of course is the owner of the Concrete Corporation. Now, on our way through this game, we meet some really interesting and funny characters, as well as the virus that infected us at the very start. He's constantly with us, guiding us through it all. He tells us where we are, where we're going, and what our current mission is. And occasionally he gives us a little bit of side lore here and there. Everything is fully voice acted, and quite nicely voice acted as well. You have a few mishaps here and there, but nothing that breaks the immersion. But yes, there is also a wee bit too much talking. They could have toned it down or made it a bit more interesting. Funny to listen to. I mean, I found myself zooming out of the conversations more than once, simply because they were uninteresting to listen to at times. But I am glad that the story got to take a lot of place in the game. It elevates the purpose of what we're doing and lifting every character that we meet from boss to friend. But it's very short. To finish the whole game from start to end took me about 3.5 to 4 hours. Luckily though, there is an arena mode to play around with and your own high score to beat in each of the 10 levels in the game.
Oh, Salvy's with you now. We could have worked together on this, you know.
Hey, Rosie. Do you mind dropping us at the parade?
We're headed for the hideout. I want Asimov to meet the boys.
Now, gameplay-wise, this is where the game really tries its absolute darndest to stick out. And to some degree, it does nail it quite freaking well, but it's not without its improvement potential. The gameplay, it consists of us fighting versus other robots. Robots that comes in 9 different variations, from cannon fodder to turret-like spiders and tank-like heavy hitters, as well as a handful of different bosses, and 10 levels with good variation to them, from more focused room-to-room levels to bigger, longer ones with a more story-focused orientation. Now, the weapons, they consist of a handful of ranged weapons and a handful of melee weapons, and you can always have one ranged and one melee equipped at all times. As I said earlier, there is no standard reloads in this game. How you actually reload a weapon is by switching to another and hitting fire. That damages the enemy in front and also reloads all unequipped weapons. And not only does that emphasize weapon swapping, which I really like when a game does, but there is also synergies to be had with the different weapons. As an example, one weapon fires explosive rounds that stick to enemies, so you stick them with that, then you switch to the nail gun that makes them go up in the air, and once they are flying, you switch to the shotgun, and the shotgun will make them fly backwards, most likely into something, and when they hit that something, these grenades that are stuck to the enemies, they explode. Or you can just use the nail gun, make them fly, and then jump up yourself, hit them with the melee, and make them smash towards the ground. There's a ton of different combinations of combos to perform, and performing combos rewards you with style points that can then be used for an ultimate attack. The higher the combo reward, the bigger the boom. And I really like how the game emphasizes this. It almost forces you to use all of these mechanics. And it might sound overwhelming, but it really isn't. And there's also a lot of assist modes inside of the options that will help you get the hang of all of these systems. So instead of difficulty options, there's actually assist options. Everything from swapping your weapons for you to even aiming for you. There's a ton to fiddle around with, and I like that aspect. Now all of this is of course toppled with some tight movement controls, and it all feels awesome when it works. But the problem is that it does not always work all the time. And a bit of a disclaimer is that I played a version that is right before the game's release. And the developers, they are polishing the game all the way up until release. But what I experienced was weapons that stopped working mid-fight. But they were still swappable, which fixed it. Then I encountered melee weapons that also stopped working, and I was unable to swap them, not having any chance to fix them at all. Then there was a ton of enemies that often got stuck into things. The game even crashed once, and some difficulty balance issues in the bosses specifically. Some of them were super easy, while others were extremely hard. And it was not like the last one was hardest, it was in the middle of it all. That's where the hardest of the bosses were. Now overall, I really do like the gameplay of this game. It feels fresh, it's fun, and it's absolutely awesomely satisfying once you nail a sweet combo. And once you get the combos going and you do one after another, after another, after another, that is extremely satisfying. But it does get a bit repetitive after a while, since we don't have all that many weapons, and the melee weapons, they're quite hard changing mid-fight, so you're kinda stuck doing the same thing that you know works over and over again. And the enemies, they don't force you enough to change it up. Some of the enemies, they have shields, and some does not. And those are the two main elements that forces you to do something different. Other than that, it's pretty straight on. And while the levels, they look varied and they feel somewhat varied, the core principle of them all are the same. Kill a bunch of enemies, kill the boss. I would really have liked to see some form of key hunting, some boss that really sticks out from the other, and there are hints of small platforming sections, maybe expand upon them some more. You know, change the pacing to keep the overall pacing even better. But I would be lying if I said that I didn't have fun with it. I did have fun with it, and what it does, even though start feeling repetitive after a while, is still excellent. It's fresh, it's fun, and I would simply like to see more of it.
Encore guillotine!
Now the presentation of the game, this game runs on Unreal Engine. I had absolutely no problems with the performance of it. It felt like it was optimized, and the audio is good. There's a ton of different tracks that range from a little bit more rocky to more electronic, and it just fits the overall vibe of the game excellent. And yes, the game is very colorful. Some levels a bit more than others, and personally I preferred the less colored ones a bit more than the extremely colored one. But that's a bit of a personal preference. Overall, there are some really cool scenic views in the game. The levels, they are unique and they look great. There's a ton of things to interact with, even small NPCs that you can talk to get a little bit of a backstory of their life as a robot in this mega corporation. It's quite fun at times. And as you have seen in the footage, it's rocking a bit of a blend from cel shaded to a bit more realistic but low poly in a way. It's a nice blend, but a wee bit too colorful for my taste at times. Other times, it just looks freaking great. And as I said earlier, I really like the voice acting in this game. Yeah, it's not perfect, but to me personally, that adds a bit of charm. It adds a bit of personality to the game. It adds a bit of that indie touch to it. And I really, really freaking like when I notice that stuff in a game. Now overall, would I recommend this game? Honestly, I think it's a bit steeply priced at 20 buckaroonies, so I would recommend getting it on a sale, but if you can catch it on a sale, then yes, I would highly recommend it, as it does so many things that other games does not. It felt fresh. And when a game manages to do that in 2025, it gets a win in my book. And if you don't catch it at the first launch sale, perhaps it will be in an even more polished state. But hey, if you watched this video and you really like what you saw and you want to buy it for 20 buckaroonies, go all ahead, man. You are gonna have a good time. That much I can say. And I am fairly freaking confident that these developers are not just going to give up. They're gonna keep on polishing the game, and it is going to reach a really good state. I have high confidence in that. But most of all, remember to go and wishlist it at an absolute minimum. The link for it is down in the description, and it's the link that is connected to this sponsorship. So please use that if you're going to visit the game, wishlist it, or buy it. And this, my friends, and this, my broskis, has been good old Papa Slim. And if you like this video, remember to hit that like and maybe smidge a little bit on that subscribe, and I'll do some more hunting of some brutal action-packed indie games just for you. Papa Slim, over and out.